Hello everyone, Lisa at Sacred Living. I am here with your reading for the week, Sunday, January 8th through Saturday, January 14th, 2023. Can you believe we're talking about the middle of January already? Oh, wow. So as I was contemplating which deck to use, my guides instructed me to use the Energy and Spirit Oracle, and I was told that this was going to be a very karmic week coming up. So again, we're at the tail end of Mercury retrograde, so it makes a lot of sense that we are facing a lot of that kind of stuff rising to the surface, because the whole point of all of that stuff rising to the surface is so we can really notice the patterns and make better choices and not just live on autopilot with some of the things that our very distant ancestors just chose to continue to ride around in that pattern with. So on Sunday, I feel like, and sometimes people go here in their sleep without even knowing about it, but we're really revisiting the Hall of Records, and we're really touching base with some of the patterns that we've had. And sometimes some of us make conscious appointments to go to the Library of Records and check out some of the editions and how some of the patterns that we have came to be. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can definitely set up a private appointment and I can help you get to the Hall of Records and look through some of your own editions, so to speak. But there's so many different things that are showing up in this card, and to me it looks like the amalgamation of all the different lifetimes. So the tulips are very bright, having represented people that have incarnated in Europe, in Holland. There is some mounds that look like Native American mound builders to me off to the side. Some of the purple flowers for the times that we were royalty. The pink flowers that are like lotus blossoms floating on the water, all of the stuff that we had transcended, some of those things, and I just see this mishmash of energy coming together. So whether we're conscious of or not, Sunday in dream time especially is going to be this real coming to terms with some of those layers. And then in Monday really has us focus on how we give and perceive of the energy of love and how we handle love karmically. And what was really bright to me is the orange and the pink in the flowers. So one of the things that happens when our second chakra, orange, isn't balanced is we really try to control all of our relationships. And so we can either come from our heart in a love relationship, or we can come with fear, which is one of the demons of the bottom chakras to begin with, and try and manipulate and control and try to do things that cause us to feel safer, even though lots of times those behaviors cause a greater imbalance and greater uneasiness, insecurity in relationships when we're trying to give ourselves a sense of feeling more secure. So Tuesday is a great time to call on Archangel Raguel to ask him to bring greater harmony to our relationships. Let us move in harmony with our destiny so as to not just be stepped into our fate and just be living on that autopilot. And he's got these scales here which are looking at our karma. So how can we weigh out the karma of what we came in with the awareness that we are bringing to our life now? Because one of my teachers always said that karma is only important when it comes to when you're aware of the pattern, you can consciously shift the pattern. So Spirit is often very good at helping us giving us permission to transmute that karma by, moving forward with a greater awareness. So Wednesday for sure has us looking at some of the family patterns that we still participate in. And this is old stuff. Look at how big that tree is and look at its root system. So one of the things we have to be mindful of is as above, so below. So are you really willing to take on some of the patterns that have just been normal in your family and not challenge those things? Are you willing to live out the discomfort of some of those patterns, whether it's substance abuse, conflictual relationships, because we are jumping to conclusions and not willing to take a deep breath and check ourselves? Look and see what are some of those patterns that you learned from your family that may not be patterns that you want to continue on to your kids. All right, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday to me looks like a sacred spiral where you're really quiet and kind of contemplative, wondering what it is about how some of the different patterns have come to be, some of how people speak to you, how people act around you, some of those different things. How did some of these come to be, and why do they continue? What's perpetuating this pattern? And so this is going to be, Thursday is all about being aware of some of the patterns that have gone out. And we have to be mindful when some things have happened to us energetically, we hold that frequency, and so sometimes people will respond to the old things that have happened to us because they're still in our energy system. So there's some things that we can do, whether you want to do some Ho'oponopono cleaning, whether you want to listen to some of the frequency healing that's on YouTube, some of those kinds of things. And there's lots of other kinds of work, of course, that can help. Those are just a couple of ideas. Friday is going to be a bit lighter. So we've spent some really heavy time up until Friday looking at some of the old gobbledygook. Friday really has a lot better energy to it. There's a lot more nostalgia, and this is a lot more about brighter memories. This yellow is really bright. The daisies, she's so happy. Her face is so light as she's looking at the daisies and she's watering them. She is adding her emotion to the nostalgic memories. So Friday is going to be a lot easier to call up the memory of some of the good things and the good times that have gone on, because every family has its strengths too. So there are some things that aren't necessarily super duper healthy in my family, but one of the things that always has been very healthy is we have a good sense of humor and we like to laugh with one another. And we've got some really funny stories from my grandparents. And so those are some of the things that are going to be a little closer to the surface than earlier in the week. And then Saturday is all about how do we choose to move forward. So you've got this balance of destiny where you're like, okay, I'm called to do something better. This is the pattern my family has been given. I don't choose to go down that road with some of those patterns that aren't so healthy. And then fate. So where are you choosing to write in your next Akashic record? What is going to be your story? Are you choosing to live on automatic pilot and follow the line of fate? Or are you choosing consciously to follow your own destiny, which is the highest trajectory of your soul in this lifetime? So I hope that helps you. I hope you have a really great week. I have your angels here. And if you chose angel number 1, then you have Archangel Metatron. And Archangel Metatron is here with the kids here. You have a bond with children, and in particular, you can help children who are sensitive. And so definitely when you have the awareness of how to manage your own sensitivity, it's a lot easier to then turn around. And when you see kids that are struggling, one of the best one-liners that my girlfriend always had for her sensitive kids was, you can't punch somebody in the nose if their lips aren't moving. Because sometimes they would pick up emotions and thoughts that other people had, and they would be just really angry as a result of some of those things. And so she taught them everybody is allowed to have their own thoughts. So that's just one example, but you will be able, because of how you have taught and learned yourself, to then be able to turn around and help the next generation. If you chose Archangel number 2, then you have Archangel Ariel. So one of the things that's been in my mind's eye, for several days now, is those little Hot Wheel cars. And the little Hot Wheel cars that would move forward on their own, that happened because you would pull back on it and whoop, let it go. And that's where we are in this stage. You have put your intention, you have asked for the creative energy. Whoop is the only thing left to do, is to let go of it and let it fly. Archangel Ariel is saying, don't hold back right now. The timing is perfect. You're ready to soar. So whatever that new project is, that new idea, whether it's going to the gym and getting some exercise, going to that yoga place and getting a practice in, whatever this is, it is time. If you chose Archangel number 3, then you have Archangel Uriel, and he is here with his guiding lights, with that wise uncle type of energy. We can ask him anything and ask him to light our path so that we can follow the highest trajectory of our soul along that line of our destiny, and to really help us stay on track. Really hold that light where I can see it. Help it be really clear, Archangel Uriel. So that is definitely one way that he can help you. Sometimes when we have been really in a tough situation, a sticky wicket, a real pickle, we don't see a way out. Look, Archangel Uriel, for my highest solution and illuminate it to me so that I can see the most benevolent outcome that's available to me with this situation. All right, guys, that is your reading for the week. If you are looking to get your own private reading, reach out to me through Facebook, or the contact information is in the About section on YouTube. All right, take good care, everyone. Bye now.